Hi, welcome to another episode of Joyful Living. I'm Heather Rizzo. I'm a holistic practitioner and licensed body worker. My clients like to call me the Body Whisperer, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Joyful Healing Playground.
And I'm Mary Crawford, the other co-founder of the Playground, and my business is The Joy of Being Well and helping you to release emotional trapped energy that might be keeping you stuck.
Yeah, and you have this great addiction program that you've been working with that has been I'm so excited for you.
Thanks. It's been interesting, and people are getting pretty interesting results. So, yeah, it's all about core beliefs and things that are keeping you stuck that don't belong to you, trapped energies, things that have been handed down through generations that you can get rid of, and you don't have to keep, and you can start over. Happy spring.
Yeah, excellent. Well, before we get started, just our disclaimer that we're not doctors. We're not here to diagnose anything. We're not here to make any claims of cure. Everything that we share are our personal experience and testimonials we've heard from clients. So I don't know about you. I'm super excited. Wednesday at 4:58 p.m. Central Standard Time is the vernal equinox. It will officially be spring here in the Northern Hemisphere.
Goodness. I know.
And it'll be coupled with a full moon, so it's going to be really, really potent energy to work with. And our last episode, we talked about how we're detoxing complaining this month, and I think it's just really good timing because really focusing on letting go and what we want to create.
Right.
So
it's spring. It's time to get your goddess energy revved up and get out there and think about not only what you want to create on a physical level, maybe gardens, maybe flowers, maybe cleaning your house, but also on an energetic level. What renewing do you want to take on right now? What would like to be tweaked just a little bit? And maybe we have some tools that can help you with that.
Well, we had this great conversation in our last Sacred Women's Circle on Friday that you can either be in prevention mode, like having your energy being on, like avoiding, what you don't want to have happen, or you can be in creation mode. It's sort of like, which do you choose? And we're going to be finishing up Mercury retrograde at the end of this month, the end of March. So I really, I feel like the energy is really going to shift after Wednesday, and then we're really going to feel it once Mercury goes direct again. And so I'm looking forward to this week and April. I think there's going to be a lot of really exciting stuff for April. And you had something that you wanted to share this morning.
Yeah. So I like to pick an oil for you all and just see what your higher selves would like to play with. And the oil that came through for you for you today is cypress. And cypress is the oil of motion and flow. So what a perfect time for cypress to come through, because cypress is all about not judging yourselves too harshly, not being critical, not feeling like you have to be a perfectionist, being stuck and sending you that beautiful cypress smell, and we're sending you that energy as well. I mean, we can do that. You can do it too. But really, getting into flexibility. It's about going with the flow. I mean, that's such a cliche, go with the flow, but it's really true. Springtime is about this new flowing energy of coming in, and you know how winter tends to make you constrict and just pull into yourself. Springtime is about moving out and just exploring and trying new things and creating new things and being new places. So it kind of along with cypress oil, which again, it's a great oil to diffuse. Put it on the bottom of your feet. You could even add a little to your bath water if you like. It's not an internal oil, it's an external oil to use either topically on your body or in the diffuser. But going along with that, there's this idea of threes, and you'll see threes everywhere throughout nature. There's just all these different times where three comes up, and now they're totally escaping my mind. I should have written notes on this, but one thing that comes up with that three thing is to give yourself a break and not judge yourself every single day. So let's say you're working, and then suddenly you have a day where you just need to rest, or you need to step back, or maybe you didn't get as much done. So instead of looking at that one day and judging yourself critically, and then look at the last 3 days, this day and the day before and the day before, and look at how much you accomplished. And did you move a little closer to where you want to be? Did you create something a little bit more? Are you happy with the way you treated your body? Generally over the last 3 days, give yourself a break and allow yourself to incorporate those 3 days into your overall assessment of how you're doing rather than a day-by-day thing. And I think you'll find that it's much more easy to get into that flow, that motion of moving forward and maybe falling back a little, but still moving forward. And that's okay. And that's what Cypress is about, and that's what springtime is about, and all of that.
Yeah, and I noticed for myself, given the way that my energy fluctuates, if I try to keep pushing forward, I'll burn out, so to speak, and then I'll really need this time to rest, where if I do some things and then I take a break to recharge a little bit, then I'm able to go again, and I get so much further if I give myself that space to just break when I'm really needing to.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, it's about not judging yourself too much, about giving yourself some space, some love. We're all about giving yourself some love and enjoy the springtime.
Yeah. And we'll be talking more about love in a bit with the next book we're going to do for Sacred Women's Circle. But before we jump into that, for Madison District here, we've got spring break coming up next week. Are you ready, parents? So just a couple of ideas of what you can do with your kids on break. There's this salt dough that you can use, and you can make ornaments with it, and you can put some oils on it, and they can hang it in like their rooms as decoration, or making these little beads where they can actually string the beads, and then you have these lovely scented beads. And then Play-Doh is really fun too. And if you need the kids to simmer down a little bit, lavender Play-Doh is
Lavender,
good thing.
Serenity. Bergamot is another good one. If you don't want, maybe for the guys, the little boys, they don't want lavender, they want something different, try bergamot, because that has that really calming energy. Or cedarwood is another good one for really calming energy.
Yeah, there's a lot of really great do-it-yourself projects with oil, and I'll include a link in the copy of this video where you can find some of those recipes, which is sort of a fun idea of what you can do with your kids, but then you get that benefit of the aromatherapy too. While they're there. So it's just
and
really fun.
They have the option of choosing what oil they want to play with.
Exactly.
And just you can get that clay at Michael's or any craft store, or you can make it yourself. It's easy to do.
Yeah, and the other thing that parents are probably starting to think about is we've got Easter coming up next month, and growing up for me, it was like you get the basket with all the candy in it, and I've decided I'm not giving my kid any candy for holidays anymore. We do like to celebrate Pie Day, and we my husband got pies. He got 7 pieces of pie. I was really proud of myself. I only took like a bite or 2 of each, which is less than like a piece of pie, and it was nice to have that indulgence. But I have to tell you, minutes later, my stomach was bloated. In fact, my daughter was like, "Are you having a baby, Mama?" And I'm like, "That's my pie baby right now." And then I started to get like painful cramping, almost like someone was dragging a knife across my abdomen, like really intense. Thankfully, I had my Digestin in the cabinet, and then my daughter started talking about how her stomach started to not feel good too, and so put some on topically on our stomachs and our feet, and then I ended up taking some internally for myself too. And minutes later, I started to feel better. And then I got a little curious the next day. It's like, well, was it the amount of pie? Or, what would happen if I had 2 bites of pie? So I did it again. I had 2 bites of pie this time. Same response. And I think part of it is because I've cut gluten and sugar so heavily out of my system that now I really notice it. Where before it was just like, oh, I have bloated belly, or you might call it wheat belly. Like, a lot of people don't realize that extra weight that they're carrying around their abdomen is actually inflammation of your intestines. So that was like my rescuer.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I want to talk really quickly about the reminder of the specials for doTERRA. So Mito2 Max is still on sale, and you can still get a full, it's about this size, of the Deep Blue Rub, and then the Deep Blue Oil, which is similar
That size,
to
yeah.
this, with a 200 PV, so that's still eligible. And I like to explore different products, and I've been really impressed with this just basic hand body lotion. It's unscented, but it's got some good stuff in it, like coconut oil and jojoba and a bunch of other things. But I like, I've talked before about how I really love the Beautiful spray, but I'm super mindful when I'm working with my clients of the scents that I'm wearing. So I have been using this with the Balance, and it's just made it's been really nice for my skin because it's still a little cold and a little dry here, but just really enjoyed using this as a base, and then I can use whatever oil I want. Like this weekend I used patchouli, which was really lovely, and so yeah, it's fun to try different products. And this is the hand and body lotion from
Completely unscented. I
totally
love that they do
unscented,
that.
and then you can use whatever you want. Yeah, and I
Great.
use the essential oils as my perfumes. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that one, even if you're in a pinch, could make a great face cream too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really good.
and it's super concentrated, so you don't a little goes a long way. But
Very cool.
yeah,
Love that.
Yeah.
So, okay, we have our Sacred Women group coming up. It's the third Friday at noon at the playground. And we're getting into some of my favorite books right now, which I've been talking about for a long time. And now we're going to finally read The River, let's see, Join the River of Love. This is Mary Magdalene channeled book by Mercedes Kirkle, and it's called Join the River of Love. Mary Magdalene beckons. And it's all about, it's her teachings, and then Mercedes does some interpretation of her teachings and how to use that in your daily life. But it's about loving yourself. It's about divine feminine, gets a little bit into female sexuality, but it's really about just who are you as a woman? Who can you be? What power do you have that maybe you're not utilizing? And how can you love yourself more? And that one is really cool. So we'll be starting that in the April group.
yep, that's what we're gonna
Actually, March?
have read
No,
for
April.
April.
April group.
April
Yeah.
19th.
Okay, thank you. Me and numbers,
It's like it's all good.
And this is a fun little book that we're going to be using probably for the rest of the year. It is a book of meditations for women's circles and wild and wise women. It's really fun. Sacred Feminine Meditations for Women's Circles and Personal Awakening. So this is one you can get, both of these I think, well this one for sure you can get Kindle if you want to have it just on your Kindle, but I think you can get them both that way too. So have fun, join us. Again, it's a meetup group, so you can find us there. Now there's another meetup group. You can go to the Joy of Being Well meetup and see us there, but the other group is the healing group.
Health and Wellness Connection.
Health and Wellness Connections. Okay.
Yep.
But the Joy of Being Well meetup group, go ahead and click on that, and so we know that you're coming and we save a spot for you. And there is no charge for this. We do have a love offering basket that we put out just to keep our lights on. So if you want to join us, we're happy. And you can bring your lunch too,
Yes.
or snack or whatever.
Yeah, it's from 12 to about 1:30. Sometimes people need to leave early, and that's fine. And if you haven't read the book, please join us. We still welcome your presence and your contribution.
But please do get the book. I think you'll
Yeah.
really like it.
Yeah, I was amazed, even just like picking up this book, just the compassion and the love that radiated from these pages. So we're excited to start something new and to share that with the women that show up. And all of the information is on our website, joyfulhealingplayground.com, so you can see the links there. And I think that's it for today.
Is it still time to get into the class tomorrow?
Yes, we have a make and take class coming up tomorrow night at 6:30. comment below if you want to be in that, and we will email you the address for it.
And
That's
it's
for spring
about
cleaning.
spring cleaning, using essential oils to clean your house. So not only will it smell good, but it'll be super clean because
Yeah.
these things are antibacterial